Matty B, how we doing, kid? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good.
Good, good. Let me grab a chair. Don't you dare tell Downing I'm wearing a Body Beast shirt right now, okay?
No, I'll keep it a sec. He might be on this call. I posted that link everywhere.
Yeah, you never know. What'd you think of my shorts earlier, kid? Those are nice, huh?
Nice, man.
That's been viewed over 1,000 times already. Marketing genius.
Hey, Richard Simmons knew what he was doing, so.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was hilarious. My inbox is full right now, kid. Full.
What's up, Greg?
What's up,
You just interrupted a live video, dude.
I interrupted a live video?
Yeah, nah, it's obviously not your fault. I'm like sitting there in the background going, I'm like jumping on this call, just put in the background and everything, and then I'm like, oh, let me go live in my challenge group quick. Then all of a sudden it's Craig's voice.
You know what? Why don't you add me to your challenge group right now? I'm gonna go live in there. Add me to your group. I'm gonna go live in there right now. I'm gonna apologize, and then I'm gonna tell them all they better get their workout done, or I'm coming to their house.
Oh shoot! What did I just do?
All right, so we gotta bring them upstairs. You guys all good? Eating? My kids are all like chomping around me right now.
Well, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Actually, no, we can.
Hey, how the hell do you mute all?
Sweat my ass off.
Whew.
All right. Is recording.
How you doing?
You can unmute yourself whenever you're ready, Sagi.
Okay, you can go up and I'm not going to go. Okay, Sophia?
Okay, I'm muted. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Cool.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I'm doing good. I was dealing for an hour with the bank, and that's no fun. And I'm like, I gotta go. Just one more minute. I'm like, one more minute with the bank is like
Daddy, what's happening?
eternity.
Daddy, what's happening?
There's 77. That's a good number. 77.
I don't know what's happening.
Hopefully we can get that to 277 before it's over.
Well, here's what I can do. I will post your link on my.
No, no, come in. Just put the one that's on Daddy's phone. Okay? Okay, Sophia?
I will post on my Facebook.
Come in.
Sam, you want to say hi to Sagi?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. Well, that was a polite way to say that.
Let's fit in little beast.
Say hello. No, nothing.
Okay.
Well, I'll give Sagi a little introduction before we get started. I'm sure you guys all know Sagi Kalev, the Beast.
You'd be
Sagi,
surprised.
well, I'll let you talk about that, but everybody that's in here should know who you are.
I'm not going to do it.
So, Sagi is the inventor of Body Beast, and he's also the co-creator of Masters Hammer and Chisel, and just an amazing dude. I mean, just the fact that we have him on this call speaks volumes about the company that we're in and the people that are involved in the company, because I won't get into the story of how this happened, but it's Sagi is just like a straight up awesome dude, and agreed to do this call like out of the blue. We had a pretty nice conversation, and it's just, you know, I have been involved with Beachbody for 3 years. I got nothing negative to say about it. All the experiences that I've had with anybody, that the trainers, you guys have to, the trainers and just the corporate has just been phenomenal. They're the most down to earth people that you'd ever want to deal with in your life. So you guys need to know, and new coaches on this call, you need to know that these people are like, they're regular people. They don't think that they're any better than anybody else, and they're willing to show you in a second that they're not, and that they don't think they are. So a little bit more about Sagi. Sagi he's a IFBB Hall of Famer. He's also two-time. He won two.
I don't think I understand what the hell that means.
You don't know what that means?
You know what that means?
That's like the NBA Hall of Fame of weightlift of bodybuilders.
Right. That's like being in the NBA of Hall of Fame, or in the Troy Aikman, or you know, He also won 2 Mr. Israel titles. He's got, I don't know if you guys have ever watched the videos on Beachbody On Demand. He's got some great videos on there that talk about his history, where he came up from, and some really in-depth stories about his upbringing and how he became who he is today. So you guys should definitely check those out. I don't want to speak any more for him. I'm going to let him take the floor, and we'll get this meeting underway. Well, I just posted it a few places, so you're gonna see the number. You see the number goes slowly up.
Yeah, buddy.
Up and up. What I'm doing is I'm going to your text message with the questions.
Okay.
You want to go over the questions? There's some great questions. Unless you want to ask me those questions, whatever you feel, whatever you do, it's your guys' call. I'm here to.
All right.
I'm all yours, and I just want to say to everyone that 92 people right now, that there are no coincidence. Matthew and I got on the phone because Matthew was being who he is, and was concerned that my private cell phone was on Instagram, and he's as I say, fearless. He's a doer, not a don'ter, right? And he called me, and we had like almost an hour conversation, right?
Yeah.
So it was unexpected conversation that we got to know each other, and then we came to this. Hey, let's do this call so we can talk and share some information with some people, because a lot of people they think they know you, or someone else told them, or they see what they see on television or on the Beachbody On Demand, or whatever is going on at Beachbody, and they don't really know the person behind the person. You know, so that's how we came to it. And there's a lot of, you sent me a lot of great questions. So I think maybe you want to ask me those questions, whatever you like, and I will answer.
Sure.
If you want to do that, or you want me, whatever to talk about, you know, because you mentioned about what I did at Beachbody On Demand, talk about my history, and I won't call it history. I would say I have a PhD in experiences, because life is all about experiences. And you know, I don't believe in. Someone asked me what was my biggest regret and mistake. And I just don't believe in those kind of things, because if you are making a mistake and you fix it and you move on, then it wasn't a mistake. If it was something that you did and it wasn't correct, then again, you correct it, you learn the lesson, you find what was the thing that needed to change. And for things to change, you need to change. For things to get better, you need to get better. And it's not the economy, it's your philosophy. So never say you broke. Say I'm insufficiently temporarily out of funds, or people say I'm having a shitty day. There's no such a thing. There's always a character building day. So the first 90 minutes of your day, this is what I believe, and this is what I've seen that affected my life. The first 90 days, the first 90 minutes to 2 hours that you wake up are what's going to set your day the way it's going to look like. And a lot of times we have my wife, she's the queen of writing lists, to-do lists, list. And I'm the guy that, I'm the guy that to do whatever it takes. And I know my responsibilities. But you gotta take life as they are and not make them worse than they are. And if you want to do better, then you take the life and make them better than they are. So if I ask you, if there's something that you can be excited right now in your life, what would that be? What would you say? I'm putting you on the spot, buddy. Yeah, what would you be excited right now in your life?
Right now, well, I'm in like the best.
Thinking about jumping up and down, yeah.
I'm in the best physical shape that I've been in my life, and I just keep getting better. I just took over family business, so I'm really excited about that, about where that's going, and so that's something I'm really excited about right now.
Great. And remember when you and I we talked about where a lot of people get stuck and they're not sure how to get at that funk because they are busy. They have second job besides being coaching, and they have kids, family, wife. How to balance it, and it's really about learning how to anchor yourself and how to learn to stand in your power. And that doesn't mean that you need to say always to be right, because happy wife, happy life. It's not about being right, but it's about knowing truly that all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. And when you do your best, and if it's not the outcome that you thought it's going to be, don't beat yourself up for it, because a lot of people beat themselves up. And the yard is always greener on the other side. And it's not, because we all have junk in the trunk. Every day in Africa, no matter what, a lion wakes up and a gazelle wakes up. And if you've done hammer and chisel, you hear me saying, are you a gazelle, right? Or a lion? And why do I say that? Because a lion, believe it or not, they sleep 20 hours out of the 24 hours. And I'm like, gee, thank God, because what if they slept a little bit less? Imagine that. But a gazelle knows that they need to outround the lion, because if not, either the gazelle will get caught or the slowest gazelle will get caught. So someone will get caught. And that's just like life. When you talk to yourself positively and your mind control everything. Your mind control the way you think, your mind control the way you walk, the way you stand, the way you talk to people. And then we get stuck when you start creating stories based on our past. So I can give you a quote that someone can write it down, and I would say, I use memories, but I don't let your memories use me. You know, the past is gone, the future is not here. Now I'm free on both. All I have is the time is always what? Now. So there's one thing that I cannot stand, and I hear it all the time. Sagi, how you doing? I'm doing really awesome. How you doing? I'm living the dream. My wife knows if someone tell me I'm living the dream, they better run, because the dream is free, the hustle so separately. The dreams with no actions mean nothing. So dream big and dream as big as possible, because one thing that separates the human being from animals, if you don't know what it is, I can help you, is imagination. And our imagination is something that if you want to sing and you're afraid to sing, then freaking sing. If you want to write, start writing. But don't let someone else hold your pen and control your life. Because if you know who you are, you'll also know who you are not. And if you don't know who you are, someone else will take you, direct you, and push you to different directions. And they are basically controlling you. And when they will be gone, you will be lost. You won't know what to do with yourself, and you start looking for them. And you don't want to get to that point. And life is all about life happening for you, not to you. And sometimes, and a lot of times, life can be very tough, and life will smack you in the face. And then I say, if you don't handle it with grace, it will stick to your face. And that's when faith comes in. And that's why I said, always fail forward. There's no such a thing as failing or being someone. What do you call someone that always wait for the last minute, or say they're going to do something and then they tell you, oh, I'm going to do it next week? What would you call them?
Procrastinator.
That's right. Do you believe in that shit? If I told you that that's who you are, and tomorrow I would say 3:45 a.m., meet me at the beach. I got $5 million waiting for you if you're going to do drills. Are you going to be there?
Damn right I am.
Hell yeah, you're going to be there. You're not going to tell me let's do it next week. You're going to be there. So there's always reasons and there's results. And reasons, as I said, don't count. And that's why I'm doing right now this challenge about 18 inches from the heart. And the goal about this challenge, and anyone is welcome to do that, the goal is about understanding how to give and what to give, and how one word can change someone's life for better or worse, and you don't even know it. So if I say to you something positive and it doesn't cost me anything, but that means the world to you, you don't even know what kind of effect that will be. So growing up, I grew up with a single mom. And my mom, she's 5'4", 120 pounds. She never smacked me. She never touched me. All she had to do, me and my brother, just look at us, and we would be scared shitless, let me tell you. But she always told us two things. You can do all things, and your life, your choices. That's all I heard all the time. And this is bringing you to your belief system. What is your values, and what kind of person you are, and what kind of person you want to become. And I see and I read so many comments and posts all the time about personal development. And then I go to events and I ask, how many of you read in the past month some kind of personal development book? And maybe people raising their hands. So what is personal development? I'll tell you, if you just pick one book, let's say the 4 Agreements, and you just read one page, that's better than anything else. Is that Kevin out there? What's up, brother? Good to see you. Can you guys hear me? So, is there anything that you guys want me to answer questions? Because I got some really good questions.
I think that you kind of addressed the whole mindset, and I think that was one of the first ones that I would have wanted you to address. You did allude to your morning routine, your first hour and a half to 2 hours in the morning. One of the questions was I don't think I sent it to you, but one of the questions was what does your morning routine look like? What do you do to prep yourself for the day?
First of all, when I wake up, I look at my wife and I say, thank you. And that's part of the few regiments that I have, rituals. My ritual is being grateful. And then I do some kind of ritual also for gratitude. What I'm grateful for, and I always put like few faces in front of me. Like faces, for example, could be my grandfather that is not here, but he represents something for me. And that what he represents will set the tone for that day. And people say that thank God it's Monday. There's no, I don't see Monday and Friday or Thursday. Every day is a day to celebrate. And you're here today, you're gone tomorrow. And you never know what to expect, because if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. That's what I believe. You know, you cannot. We don't know the future, but we can sure connect the dots looking backwards. And I can tell you that waking up in the morning, starting when I was young, all the way to the military. I served in the military, Desert Storm. I got shot. I moved to the U.S. I slept in my car for a long time. I lived with a suitcase. I ate beans and tuna. I had no money. I had to figure out how to survive. Nothing was given to me. Everything that I am today is because I worked super hard. And, you know, what you see is ending results for what I worked so hard. First of all, who am I, and what do I have, and really why should you care? And I'm not talking about things. I'm talking about why would you listen to someone like me? And the reason that you listen to someone like me, because like I said, I have a PhD of experiences. I've been through so many tribulations that I can tell you street smarts, educational smarts. There's a reason why Beachbody and Carl Deichler picked me. It wasn't because I have blue eyes. and 19-inch arms. Trust me, that's not the reason. So it all comes down to the journey. And there's a saying that says, live full, die empty, and always empty your bucket. And then Hammer and Chisel, I said, grab a bucket. But everything that I said in this program, in the programs, there's a meaning to it. And one thing that I teach and I go and I speak and I talk about, and that's from the military. And you guys probably will not understand in the beginning, but here it goes. Take an equation, 1 + 1 = 5. Now you're saying, what the hell that means? 1 + 1 = 5? Well, in the military, when you are the leader of your unit, you always know who's got your 6, the guy in the back. And then you know the guy on your right, the guy that's holding all the antenna and all the communications. But then you have 3 guys that on the sidelines, and those guys represent the blind spots. The blind spots that we don't see, we don't recognize, and a lot of times people trying to tell us, hey, let me tell you about your blind spot, but our ego comes in our way. And if someone don't know what the word ego means, to me it means edging God out. So in life, you either get humble or you are humbled, because eventually something will bring you down. Does that kind of answer your question?
Yeah, that's a good way to start the day. I think we should all be a little bit more grateful.
Well, everything is about gratitude, and this is something that I think that in the United States, I don't watch the news anymore, because I can't remember last time I opened the news and I heard something that made me feel good. But what I do see is our kids and what's going on in universities, they don't understand what is United States of America and what a gift and how many doors you have open, and all you have to do is do whatever it takes. Just do it. And everybody knows go for no. I said, just go for it. Do it. Take a risk. If you're not a risk taker, you will never succeed. A decision will get you started, and right? A decision will make you started.
Definitely.
And a commitment will get you finished. You know, because you got to have commitment. And a few things in coaching, I can tell you that from what I've learned and seen, if you don't have commitment and if you don't have communication skills, and if you don't know what you're really passionate about in the company, you will not succeed. Because people feel your certainty. If you don't have certainty in yourself, people will lose you very fast. Because if I'm not secured with who I am, be like, I don't want to be around that guy. So always, I never want to be the smartest guy in the room, because if I am, I'm in the wrong freaking room, right? I never wanted to be rich. I just wanted to be comfortable. But when I got comfortable, I realized that I needed to be rich, you know? So it's always like you can't go there. Like, think about Six Flags. You know what Six Flags? And think about going the ride, and you always go the ride on the top slow. You know, they make you feel that slow ride to the top, because you can't get to the top fast. It's a fact. People that get to the top fast, they think, like, I want to be a coach, I'm going to be 15-star coach. They're going to press on the elevator and get to that 15th floor. someone else will take the stairs. And that's why at Six Flags, you take the highest ride, is slow, slow, slow. And then when you get to the top, what happened? What happened? They stop you. No, they stop you for like good 10 seconds to take a good look what it feels like to be on the top, because to be on the top is very lonely. The bottom is always crowded. Yes. So successful people are the one that always thrive to be on the top. And being on the top didn't happen in one day. It's a step after step after step. You know, you can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pocket, and then you go and you just drop. And a lot of times we think like, life, this is it. I'm living the dream, as people say, and then you get punched in the face. You know, that's Mike Tyson said, everybody thinks that they're great until they get punched in the face. And then they don't smile that often. So it's all about learning how to deal with problems, because the problems that people have is that they think that they shouldn't have problems. Be a problem solver. Be someone that always looking for solutions. And don't look for someone else to give you a clap on the shoulder, because when you start looking for other people recognition and other people affirmation and other people to tell you how great you are, you are lost. So life is not about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. And how you create yourself? By finding your gift. Because just because you are successful doesn't mean that you are in your gift. Because you can be successful and be on the outside look like everything is great, but deep inside you have a storm that no one knows. And when you get home, that storm comes out and you just don't know what to do with yourself. But then in the morning, next morning, say, how you doing? How you doing, Patrick? I'm doing great. But no one truly knows what's going deep inside. And that's where a lot of people struggle with the truth. You gotta be truthful to yourself, you know, and you gotta know how to look and be honest when you look in the mirror and say, this is where I am today, and ask yourself why. How did I get here? And what do I need to do to move forward? Forward doesn't mean that it needs to be all straight. You can go right, left, sideways, but as long as you don't stay in the same place, you're moving forward. And happiness for me is just mean progress. As long as I'm making small progresses, because you know we tend to celebrate the big things, but really in life, when you get to celebrate the small things, the small successes, that's when it becomes something huge. And the most successful people are the people that looking for the long-term future, and they're looking how to build their army. And the army is the people that you build around you. So if you are in a group, where do you place yourself in the group? If you're a leader in the group, you have no room to grow. You just simply need to change your group. You can stay in the same one, but just change the group. So I also want to talk about, I saw some question about nutrition and metabolic typing. And I wanted to say why I started with that and why I'm doing it. I practice functional medicine. Functional medicine is basically the bridge between allopathic medicine and naturopathic medicine. You learn how to look at the root cause and not at the symptoms, because you and I can have the same symptoms, but we will have different I would say, I'm not going to get to terms, but we'll say different metabolic issues. So I saw that so many people struggles, and there's so many stuff out there. And if I don't want to start fad diets, and I don't want to start saying about different names. But if you Google diet books, you will see there's over 670,000 diet books. My God, there's no such a thing because there's no one size fits all. And when I wrote the Book of Beast, I struggled tremendously because I'm like used to, there's no one size fits all. There's only one you. That's it. There's only one you. You are unique as your fingerprint. So what is the solution? And the solution was metabolic typing system, which is what's the right types of foods or supplements, or it's a whole system to fit your body, to understand what your body needs, and not to push it hard or not to push it slow to bring you to be the anchor. You know, for example, let's take you and I eating rice, right? White rice. My type, if I eat rice, I would start talking to you 120 miles an hour, and you'd be like, oh my God, this guy talks so fast. And he's like, what the hell is he talking about? But after 30 minutes, I would be quiet and I would tell you, good night, I'm going home, I'm done. And especially if you have a piece of steak next to me, if you try to take a piece out of my steak, I would take a knife and I would stab you. This is my type. But someone else, and that the reason is because I break down carbohydrates so fast, so my train goes off the trail and it just crash. Someone else need that type of carbohydrates to get that train going at 60 miles an hour, which mine already going 60 miles an hour, and have different types of foods. Because, for example, if you eat cruciferous foods, all right, like broccoli or cauliflower, for female and male, will lower estrogen levels. But at the same time, they can cause you other issues, like people that have thyroid issues cannot eat cruciferous vegetables. People that have gut issues cannot eat different types of food that, if you want to get to all this, I can talk about that for an hour. So if there's any specific thing that you want me to talk about, let's talk about that.
All right, we got a lot of different questions about the metabolic typing, and one of them that I thought was really interesting was people that have autoimmune disease. How would you address that with somebody that has an autoimmune disease?
Okay, so first of all, my first question is, why do you have an autoimmune disease? Okay, what is your genetic type? Is it genetically? And what turned that switch on? Because that switch genetically turned on, and if you have an autoimmune disease, that means that your immune system is not able to deal with, let's say, for example, celiac, right? We take celiac disease or IBS. So you're not able to eat type of grains, you're not able to eat gluten, you're not able, by the way, there's 11 types of gluten, which gluten is really type of protein. There's also type of proline that you will find in legumes, but let's stick with the simple stuff. So the autoimmune is your body. Let me put it in a picture that's very simple. This room's got screens, and the screens got tiny holes, right? And as we start eating the wrong types of foods, our bodies start being attacked, and because it doesn't recognize what we eat, including toxins or including flour or soy or anything that is allergen or heavy metals or toxins. But let's talk about food. So here's an example why counting calories doesn't make sense. So if you take broccoli and it's hard for you to digest broccoli and you tell me I'm bloated, I'm gassy, that tells me that you have a hard time digesting it because you are what you eat. Everybody knows that, right? But really, that's the first step. The second step is you are what you digest. The third one is you are what you assimilate. And the fourth one is you are what you eliminate. So if you're not able to digest right, you're not having enough hydrochloric acid to sterilize the gut, those foods that you are reactive to start puncturing holes in your screens, and they start leaking out to your bloodstream. And probably I'm sure a lot of people here heard leaky gut, the word leaky gut. So they're leaking to your bloodstream, and I don't think your blood recognizes cucumber or avocado or broccoli. And then histamine released with it and heavy metals released with it. And then you start getting side effects or symptoms or itchiness. And then you take Zyrtec or Benadryl, or you take something for acid, which that's what the doctor will do, is right away write you a script. Oh, you have this, you have that, this is it. But really, you have to always look of what is the root cause for each thing that happens. So if your body, it's called the oxidative system. The oxidative system, you have two sides. One of it is the sympathetic system, the fight and flight. The other side is rest and digest, the parasympathetic. So if you had a steak and you are in fight and flight mode, I don't think you can run and eat that steak, right? At the same time, because you cannot eat that steak, your body needs a lot of sugar, glucose, to get to the brain to understand that you need to run away from the line. That's the survival mechanism. So when you have an autoimmune, there's so many different, factors, and I call it blocking factors, that get to your bloodstream, and your body doesn't have enough ways to fight with it. So if you look at, like, let's say the military, the Navy is sleeping, the Air Force is gone, and the Navy SEALs nowhere to be found. Now, what do? So what you do is starting with the basics. And the basics is find out what is the stressors. And the stressors starting from, you can have physical stress, you can have emotional stress, you can have, for example, with me, the cleaning lady just happened, we were out of town, and she washed our sheets and clothes with different detergent that I am more sensitive than sensitive, and it irritated my skin. And if I walk to a place, I would tell you like a Sherlock Holmes detector, oh, there's mold here, and there's this going on. Or if you live in a house that is older than 20 years old, then people don't understand that the skin is the largest organ, and that's how you actually absorb the most amount of toxins, is through the skin. So if you are drinking filtered water or osmosis water, just an example, but you're taking a shower or a bath, you're absorbing all those toxins really 100 times more than what you are drinking. So your learning how to detoxify, that's number one. And I can tell you, in my practice, I had two signs, huge signs that said, one, I don't treat diseases, I treat people. And the second sign I had is that you have to walk in and say, I'm healthy, I'm healthy. I'm healthy because whatever your focus goes, your energy will flows. And if you focus how depressed you are, you're gonna stay depressed. Now there's clinically depressed and there's reason for that, but there's also, research shows that the number one way to get out of depression is exercising, and it doesn't mean that you need to do body beast. It means that you just need to like beach body. Beach body mission in the beginning was just getting off the couch. So if you're sitting on the couch and eating bonbons, ain't gonna happen. Just not gonna happen. So no one's gonna do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. That's one thing that you have to learn. And you have to learn really how to love yourself and how to put yourself first. Because if you not able to be healthy and really take care of yourself, you will not be able to be the best father, the best husband, the best partner, and the best coach, for example. Because you won't think about serving other people. You will think about, I feel like crap. How can I help someone else? And a lot of times, like I said, a lot of coaches put pressure on themselves. I gotta be the product of the product, and I don't look like I think I need to look. And they're missing the point. That's not the point about looking. Look is just how you judge yourself. And if you care what other people think, then you are in deep shit. What other people think of you is none of your business. Because if you make it your business, you will walk offended for the rest of your life. That's it. So, if someone asks me what's the first book that they should read, I would tell them, although he's a boring speaker, Success Principles. For the 4 agreements, there's many books, but I will tell you, Success Principles, the guy that wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul, Jack Canfield, that's what changed my life. But really what changed my life was the phone call that I make to my mother. 2 phone calls. One was in the military, and from sleeping at home by yourself to go sleep with 60 guys that snore, fart, and stink in one room. You call your mother and you say, I want to go home, Mama, I want to eat your food. And she hang up the phone. I call her back and I'm like, why did you hang up the phone? It's like, I think the phone got disconnected. She's like, no, it's time for you to grow the fuck up. Just like that. Think about, yeah. And then the second phone call was me in front of the payphone, less than $2. And I'm not kidding about the $2. I never beg for money. I always figure out ways. There's always a ways when there's a will, when you know your purpose, your vision, and your goals. That's it. When you know your vision, when you know your purpose, and when you know what your goals are, you're set. Because you wake up every morning with an agenda. If you don't have an agenda every morning, it doesn't matter how you feel. It matters what you do about it. How you feel is none of your business. Because that's when you start playing tricks on yourself. So you can be a victim or you can be a victor. You can be a warrior or you can be a whiner. It goes like this, And then when I do this, I do it for a reason. It's like crazy 8. You get to that, I'm upset, I'm depressed, I'm sad, I'm frustrated, I can't take it anymore, my boss is a jerk, If you don't have goals, then you will work for someone else that do. So that's one thing. if you're not passionate about what you do, then people will walk away from you. And let me tell you about people walk away from you. When people walk away from you, and I'm talking about not because you did something wrong, just because something happened, let them go. And a few weeks ago, I worked with Barbie, and something happened, and everything is how you look at things. And it really upset her. And I said, babe, when things go wrong, just simply
Don't go with them.
There you go, babe.
I'm listening.
It's true. It's damn
You
true,
can
right?
tell them. Oh my God, you can tell them. Yes, absolutely.
See, I'm not telling stories. I'm telling the truth. And that's one thing that Barbie, my wife, can tell you. If I say something, my word is everything. So it's all about, everybody knows, talk the talk, walk the walk, but really always do more than what you get paid for. That's my number one rule. And when you are taking care and serving other people, God would always make sure that you are okay. That's what I believe. And there's a big difference between belief and hope. Because when you hope for things to happen, they might happen. And hope is a bigger. But when you believe in yourself, when you believe in your people that surrounding you, and you believe in your purpose, you are standing in your power. And I don't think you even understand the greatness within you. You are more powerful than you can understand. And there's a saying that powerful people recognize potential in people, and people with potential recognize power when they see it. And that's why a lot of times when people see powerful people, and when I say powerful, I don't mean that because people that have money or have things. They're just the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they stand, the way they're certain about what they're saying. That's attractive. So those type of people always want to be around successful people and people that will help them to lift them up and not drag them down. And that's a big tool for someone to understand and recognize that there's two types of people. There's a gallon person and there's a pint person. And what I mean by that, a leader would be a gallon person. A follower would be a pint person. And nothing wrong with a pint person. You just need to recognize that your expectation from that pint person should not be the same as the person that is a gallon person. Because if you do, you will get frustrated, upset, and nothing good will come of it. But if you trade your expectations to appreciations, then you will appreciate that person so much more because you will understand that they're really doing their best. And I would say if you have in your entire life 2 to 3 people that I will call it confidants, you are blessed. But most of the time, you will find people in your life that are constituents, meaning that they are not about you, they're about the mission. And as long as it's about the mission, they will stick with you. And when it's comfortable for them, they're with you. And when you are not going to be around or you're sick or something happened, you will not find them. So really choose carefully the people that you surround yourself with, and always make sure that you're not on the bottom and then you're not on the top, because if you don't grow, you will die, basically inside. I'm not talking literally. Does it make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you asked me about something about since I didn't know my wife is on the call. She's not home. Yeah, you asked me. I saw a question. How do you? What was it? Um, how do you balance your relationship and work and make your relationship a priority above everything else that you and Barbie are involved in? How?
Just do it.
Simple. You know, we make things so complex that they're so easy, but they're so easy not to do also. So the things that are easy to do are easy not to do also, right? It takes effort. And the things that take effort, a lot of people rather not to do. So I ask you, when we talk on the phone, as a leader, why are you stuck for this long where you are? And I got your number.
You sure did.
Yeah, and you didn't know what to say. And I tell you why, because your priorities are different than someone else that is more hungry than you are. You gotta be hungry. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about food. You gotta be hungry. What's the difference between someone that makes 50,000 and 500,000? The same race, the same education, the same background. What's the difference?
That hunger.
$500,000 per person, just do a little bit more. Wake up early, just a little bit more. Stay up at work, just a little bit more. He's hungry. He just wanted a little bit more. You know?
Yep.
So you gotta be hungry, stay foolish, and always learn, you know. When the beast is talking, you know, and what people, it's funny because there's a story for everything, but if you don't, as a leader and a speaker, you have to learn that if you are telling a story, you gotta make a point. Because you can't have a point without a story, and you can't have a story without a point. And this t-shirt that you're wearing, there's a point behind it. And the point was, the beast is talking, is that if you look on the outside, you might say, oh, he's such a cocky guy, or he's such arrogant, or he treat them so, that wasn't nice, or he's such a jerk. But they don't know the truth behind it. That they weren't supposed to say a word like, yeah, baby, let's go. I'm not your baby, I'm your beast. But they weren't supposed to talk. So instead me saying, or the director say cut, I say, shh, the beast is talking, reminding them that they need to be quiet. So we kept going because filming 3 shows a day, it's a son of a bitch, I'll tell you what. So, you know, that's what doing whatever it takes. You have to adjust and learn how to love people, because we're in the people business. And that's if someone asks me, what do? I answer almost anything. No, really, what do you do? Almost anything. No, really, what do? I'm in the people business. That's what I am. I'm serving people. I'm in the all about helping others in any way I can, but don't take my generosity or my intention and take it as a weakness. Because again, when you know who you are, you know exactly where you stand. And when you stand in your power, no one can shake you. So that comes from what? Belief. If you don't have faith, you have nothing. And that's why I said, when you fell forward. And if it just happened, you fell back on your face. And there's a saying that when life knocks you down, lay down on your back, and all you have to do is look up, and then you're going to get up. Right? And you don't have to be religious for that. Just believe. Believe, believe, believe. So what's the next question? And we can
I think that you addressed a lot of the nutrition questions. I think they're all going to point to metabolic testing, but I had a specific question about eating vegan, because we have some guys that have vegan diets, and
I'll tell you what, vegan and vegetarians, I don't want to get into it because it's going to create World War III. They're so, I'm telling you, it's from experience. Trust me. So ask me the question, I will give you the answer, but I will be as honest as I can without creating any war. All right?
All right.
So vegan. What's the question about vegan?
Oh, it says, what do you feel about eating plant-based and still making gains?
As long as you feed your body for your own metabolic needs, metabolic needs, and you get the right nutrients to sleep, to balance your blood sugar, to break down the nutrients, adaptogens, have your immune system balance, not shift, have your stress levels. When I say stress level, I don't mean about my wife just called me a jerk. No, take the word dress, and you can write it down, dress, and take the D and put the D, the right type of diet for my body. So if you're vegan and you know plant-based, don't eat soy. That's the only thing that will say about don't eat soy, because you don't want to have men boobs, or a woman don't want to have extra estrogen. And we don't want to get to, when we're going to pass that. The next thing is the R is really rest, because if you don't rest, and I say rest, sleep. Einstein said that if you don't sleep, he slept 10 hours. Sleep is the root of all diseases, because you can always move from a state of ease to a state of disease. Blood sugar regulation, so many things. That's when you heal your organ, your brain, every system in your body when you rest, right? Then exercise. We have 600 and plus workouts on VOD for $99 for the whole year, 14 days, try free. Come to me, right? There you go. Now, the next one is stressors. And when I say stressor, internal, external, meaning that pathogens, parasites. If you went to another country, most likely you have parasites. Stressors, when you stand up, you're feeling lightheaded, dizzy. You're seeing black dots. You're not sweating when you're lifting weight. Why am I not sweating? I'm constipated, or I have loose stool. Those are all the body is giving you signs, and you need to start listening. So spend time in silence and be the observer instead the scenario, right? I hurt my knee. I never got, in 27 years, I'm not going to work, I never got hurt in the gym. I get off the plane to do for Scotty Hobbs an event, step off ice, and I tore two ligaments. Gee, you know what? But, and I said but, I don't like the word but, because but is an argument for your limitation. And when you argue for a limitation, you have to keep them. That's what I believe. So, but he told me that I am moving too fast. and I need to slow down. But that was me sitting down and just stepping back and absorbing my life. And a lot of times we are the busiest people ever. Go, 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 things to do, things to do, things to do. And we don't have the time, 5 minutes of your day, just sit down and just look at what happened this week, what happened today. How can I treat myself better? When the last time you got a massage? Massage, what the hell is that? See what I mean? You're smiling. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Love your body, love yourself. That's one way to treat it. So the stressors from the outside and the stressors from the inside. And then I would say the last S is how to supplement your body correctly. Because 50 years ago, if you asked me, do I need supplements? 50 or 60 years ago, I would say most likely not. And why? Because our soil, and that's where paleo, I don't believe in a lot of things they're saying, because we don't eat the same wheat and grain as Jesus Christ or Moses did. We just don't. Our soil is destroyed, and when instead putting cow poop on the soil, they put soy, you know, and that's where the whole industry is destroyed. So you think organic is good for you? The word organic is owned by the government. So my wife, and she's on the call probably listening, she's like, oh, babe, I got you this fish. And I'm like, did you read the label? It says it comes from Thailand. Do you know what the water in Thailand like? No. Yes. So what do you mean? What to eat? Eat what is in season. Think about what's in season. Eat that. And then look for what's the closest thing for you as far as what they raise, farmers, what they raise. What is the most fresh? Because a lot of times organic means that there's less harmful, let's say, toxins than non-organic, but it's really not much different between eating whole foods. And whole foods in Shakeology, although it's powder, but it's proven and it's shown that you get in so many nutrients, adaptogens, and so on and on and on that you just simply cannot get from a tomato these days or an orange, you know. So the soil is destroyed, and then you gotta find, like I said, what's in season. And then if I had to pick, and I will tell you, good types of fat, good type of protein, and then plants, greens, veggies that are water soluble, right? So again, there's no one size fits all, but when you start listening to your body will talk to you. I hope that makes sense, because it's really common sense, but everybody comes up with some new thing. Whole30, what is it? The ketogenic diet, which been around really for a long time, and it's you get the Atkins Plus, and there's so many things out there. But what's been around for, if you will read what I wrote on my Facebook page, something that Dr. Weston Price started in the early 30s. He went to different tribes around the world and saw how come Eskimos eat 90% fat, 10% protein, and they have no anything close to heart disease or any inflammation. And then he goes to Africa, and they eat 75% carbohydrates and grains and fruits and so little protein, and they have no cardiovascular inflammation. So again, it's the hunter, the gathers, the teacher in different areas in the world, and that's why eat what your ancestors. That's why they say, eat your chicken soup. Why eat the chicken soup? There's a reason for it. And the reason is because from the bone broth, you get collagen and you get so many nutrients that strengthen your immune system and strengthen your brain function, that the signals start getting stronger and stronger, and you start communicating with your body and your brain. And your brain is a computer. So think about any time that you around someone that is negative or say negative things to you, all you have to do is go to your brain, find that delete button and say, delete. She said that I am delete. My 7th grade teacher said delete. You see where I'm going with it? So reprogram your computer and put in it only positive things. Because who is in charge? You are in charge. No one else is in charge. You are in charge. So take control, take your power back, and say, from now on, all I can do is all I can do, and all I can do is enough. And I will be the best version of me so I can serve and use God's gift to me to serve others. I hope that helps.
It does. I think you hit on a lot of the questions. A lot of the questions were about different types of diets. You hit on like the keto, and I think it all comes back to.
Well, I can talk to you, like I said, and Red will tell you, I can talk to you hours about different things. That's where my education for so many years and my degrees and my this and all that. And that's why I was the only trainer that wrote the nutrition book or the whole book. So I can talk to you about it, all the benefits and all the goods and the prawn. So but at the same time, just because you're seeing great results, you have to educate yourself and you have to learn what is your body telling you. Because, for example, if you're pulling and you're eating so much of one thing, and that's why I offer to do around hair analysis, for example. So everything comes in a family. So potassium and sodium represent your adrenal glands and how much stress you are. So if you're low on potassium and you are doing ketogenic diet, you're in deep shit. Same thing goes with magnesium and calcium, they balance. You have to make sure that they balance. And it's not about getting sticks and peeing on it to see if you are in that zone that you're not pushing it to the purple side or the red side. It's about really understanding that your pH, what matters, is in your blood and not what you pee. Because your temperature in your urine should be the same temperature in your mouth. And people don't understand that. So you see there's so many factors for nutrition. And eating is a necessity, right? Eating is a must. But eating right is an art. So it's again, you can make it simple. And I go and speak sometime in high school. What should I eat? If it's full fast, eat it. If God made it, eat it. Just like that. Really? Yeah. And if it has more than 5 ingredients, run.
Unless it's Shakeology.
No, I'm talking about food.
Yeah.
Because when you eat broccoli, just 1 ingredient. I'm not talking about, again, we were talking about supplements and why we need to supplements, because you cannot get those adaptogens or nutrients from what we get in from food, sadly, and the microwave and how you cook stuff. You know, so someone will tell you that coconut oil. I love this. We went to the store when I met Barbie. She said, "Why are you buying coconut oil?" I'm like, "Because it's good for you." But it says that it's cholesterol free. I'm like, "Honey, cholesterol can only be in animal fat." The last time I checked, coconut wasn't animal. You know, so the marketing control us. The people that teach us, that the stories they told us control us. Start learning about you and start really educating yourself. And the most important thing is hold your own pen and start rewriting your new chapter. Because no one else can hold your pen for you. It's your life. It's your choices. Yeah?
Yeah, buddy.
Cool.
I think we hit all the topics, unless you want to keep going. I know you could talk for hours, but I want to give you your night back.
I want to come home.
Why are you?
I'm downstairs. I didn't want the dogs to bark.
Oh, they won't bark. They're here. You can come home. We got two dogs that they think they 6 pounds or 7 pounds. They think they Doberman. Yeah. So.
Well, I wanna thank you for.
You know, when you talked about balance with your wife, is going back to the word that I said, communication and understanding. Because when you talk to a dude and say, "Hey, how you doing?" "Fine." "How was your day?" "Great." "How was your workout?" "Oh, it was all right." You talk to a woman, get ready for 45 minutes. Well, let me tell you. So let me help you guys. I'm going to give you the last two advice. When a woman talks to you, be present and listen. And what you say is this: "Tell me more." And what else? And just snap your head. What else? Tell me more. From 30 minutes, it went down to 7 minutes, like that. I guarantee you. And ladies, what man wants to hear is that, there you go, the Dobermans, that no one else, there you go, no one else is as good as you. No one else did what you do for her. Yeah. You hear me? So, yeah. And that's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So,
Thank you so much for coming on, Sagi.
you're welcome. It was a lot of fun. I hope I gave you guys some value and something to think about. And just remember, it's all about believing in yourself, knowing who you are, and always, when you are in a funk, go help someone else, and you're gonna see how suddenly everything changed. Well, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you again. Everybody, can you unmute yourselves and say goodbye to Sagi? Thank them.
Thank you.
Thank
Steve, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sagi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sagi.
Awesome.
Thank
you.
Bye, Sagi.
Thank you, Sagi.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Sagi.
Bye. Hello. Bye.
Say hi to Sagis.
Thank you.
Okay. I think you guys said hi to all
Wait,
of
he's on there.
Good night, names.
Hey, Brooke.
All right, guys.
Sad.
Thank you for coming on the call tonight. And, I'll post the recording in a little bit. Thank you.
Matt, thanks for setting this
Thanks,
up, kid.
Matt, for organizing this, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for getting this going.
See you all at Summit.
Definitely.
All right, man, let's get off.
So he's blind.